What's up, guys? It's Coach Gaglione here, and this is another edition of the Powerlifting for the People podcast. I'm your host, Coach Gaglione, and I've been involved with powerlifting and strength coaching for over 15 years. Been as heavy as 340 pounds, sitting about 215 today. Been eating a little bit extra, but maintained over 100 pounds of weight loss over the last couple of years, and it took me about 5 years to do it. And today I have a very special announcement, and I want to talk about kind of my next big project that's out. It's the No BS Guide to Sustainable Weight Loss. So it's my new book that's on Amazon. I've had a couple of you guys been following along with Gaglione Strength and myself for a while. I've published several books on Amazon, most notably Powerlifting for the People, which is what this podcast is named after. And that's a very quick read. And it's really just to kind of show the benefits of strength training, even if you're not a weightlifter or if you're not maybe a high-performing athlete. It just kind of shows the benefits, dispel some of the myths. And kind of the idea behind that was just to almost kind of have maybe someone like myself, or maybe if you're a long-time listener, just some sort of a really easy resource that someone can kind of understand some of the benefits of strength training. Because I do really believe that lifting weights, resistance training is for everyone, and not necessarily competitive powerlifting, but just heavy resistance exercise. There's so many benefits to bone density, muscle mass, helping your longevity, and just overall quality of life. My mom and my dad's a good example. They're in their upper 60s. They're not competitive lifters. They reap a lot of the benefits of strength training. They're not as quite as interested in it as me. They take it more like medicine, but they see a lot of the value in it, and I'm very proud of them. So that's what really Powerlifting for the People is all about. And then I have the Powerlifting Handbook, which truthfully, again, it's maybe not the best name, but essentially it's all the principles that help people hit PRs and make progress in strength training. There are some applications to athletics in that book as well. And there's some things definitely that could be updated, but for the most part, I'd say 80% of it is still a lot of the same principles I use today, and things have obviously been tweaked. Exercise selection and some of the nuts and bolts have been tweaked. But that's a great read for any up-and-coming coaches. And then Are You Ready to Compete, which is just a really good guide for anyone that's getting ready for their first competition. So really all these books are about helping people, and I think that this one is going to help the most people. This chronicles my weight loss journey. It's 8 simple steps to troubleshooting your weight loss journey. And again, if you've been listening, those 8 simple steps is essentially, it's the long on lean checklist. So if you've kind of gone through some past episodes, I'm not going to go through every single item today. But the truth is, I can give someone the checklist, and they may not be ready to execute the checklist from day one. I certainly was not. So what this guide is essentially kind of taking each checklist item piece by piece, dissecting it, kind of explaining the benefits, explaining the importance of each checklist item. And these are kind of the daily and weekly habits that you need in order to be successful in changing your body composition. So whether you're trying to improve muscle or drop body fat or some combination, these are going to be some of the key things that you need to do on a daily basis. And essentially, do you need to necessarily do all these checklist items every single day? Not necessarily. But on average, most of the time, the majority of the time, these are the things that you should be doing. And if you're not doing these things, there's a good chance, especially if you have more average genetics like myself, that you're going to be slipping in the wrong direction if you're not kind of doing these daily and weekly tasks. And if there's any one that's really, it could be any one thing that could be holding you back. Some are going to be more important than others, like sleep, hydration, obviously your food, your protein intake, the strength, the resistance workouts. There are some that are more important than others, your activity level. And basically, over the past year and a half, 2 years, I've been kind of just documenting and reverse engineering kind of what I did to lose the weight, what I've done to maintain the weight. I went over some specific scenarios, some things that kind of gave me trouble, how I overcame those obstacles. And I give some insight on how you can potentially overcome those obstacles yourself. Because ultimately, everyone is going to have trouble with certain aspects of the checklist. So this is going to allow you to troubleshoot. This is going to allow you to figure out like what you personally need to focus on. Some people like might be really good, like myself. Strength training was never an issue. I've obviously been a competitive powerlifter since 2006. So that was never like an issue for me. The big linchpin for me was getting my sleep under control. I ended up getting a sleep study, so I kind of talk about that in the book. And that allowed me to really kind of kickstart things and get things moving in the right direction. And then I was able to focus on other things like tracking and other things that really helped move the needle for me, increasing my activity level, increasing my steps. I hired a nutrition coach in Sean Cody to help me get stage ready. So I kind of chronicle all these different things in the book. And what's really cool about this is also not just a read, it's a workbook. There's going to be questions, there's going to be prompts, it's going to actually have you do some work. So if you're someone that maybe can't quite afford coaching quite yet, or you just don't have the finances to do so, or maybe you don't have the mental bandwidth right now, you can kind of go at your own pace with this book. So each section is going to have a troubleshooting guide. Each section is going to kind of outline some specific habits that are going to help you kind of move the needle. It's going to explain the why. It's going to explain the how. It's going to give you some suggestions on how to improve each habit if you're having trouble hitting a certain daily minimum or hitting a certain level. And then it's going to kind of ask you some questions. So maybe if you're unsure, those prompts will kind of help you. And essentially, those are kind of like some of the questions that I would ask you if I was coaching you. And that essentially is going to be like how the book works. So each chapter will have a section where you have to do some homework. And you can go through the book as quickly or as slowly as you'd like at your leisure. This book's also going to be a resource that we use in our own nutrition coaching and our own nutrition challenges moving forward. So I would just invite you to check out the description. It's going to be a short episode today. Check out some of the other past episodes on Long Island Lean if you want a little bit more information on how the checklist works and what it entails. But the book's going to really kind of cover all that in great detail. I'm really excited about this. This has been something that's been near and dear to my heart. Getting my weight under control is a huge ordeal. Like I said, it took over 5 years. And I'm still working on it. Like I mentioned before, kind of my weight jumped a little bit. I took a little bit of a diet break. So I'm up about, 8 pounds or so from my lowest weigh-in this year. I still look really good. A lot of it's water weight and stuff. But the point of that is I want to explain to you guys that are listening, I'm still in this. And just because I lost the weight doesn't mean I get to kind of kick my feet up. I could very easily kind of get back to 340 if I don't focus on these things. So I'm in this with you. Again, now that doesn't necessarily mean I need to work quite as hard as I did for the last 5 years, not necessarily, but I can't just take my foot off the gas. So this is a lifestyle change. It's going to teach you how to do that. It's going to teach you how to kind of incorporate this and allow you to still enjoy your life, enjoy social time and social eating and all these other things. This is not a diet. This is not a quick fix. This is really teaching you how to live in order to have sustainable weight loss. Because ultimately, we don't really have a dieting problem. We don't have a weight loss problem. We have a weight maintenance problem. We're not able to sustain the weight loss that we achieve. Most people, they go on a diet and then they gain the weight right back, sometimes then some. So I would say most individuals and most people don't have trouble losing weight, but they have the biggest challenge is actually keeping the weight off. So this book's going to detail just how to do that. I'm really excited. So please share this with a friend. Please share the book with a friend. This is something that I truly believe if enough people get their hands on, this is going to be life-changing information. But you do need to do the work. You do need to apply it. And if you're having trouble and if you want someone to hold your hand and kind of guide you through the process, we do offer consultations and one-on-one coaching. But in any case, I just invite you to just try the book. It's $19.99. Once you get it, you need to take action. You need to open up the book. And what I would recommend is you could do kind of an Andy Frisella thing. Do 10 pages a day, because there are going to be some exercises that are going to actually take some time. So once you get to those prompts, actually spend some time. Find a quiet area where you can really concentrate and really unpack these things. This takes work. This is not just like some cookie cutter plan to follow. And there might be some times where a cookie cutter program is fine. But what I've found, especially with weight loss, you really need to kind of look within. I think nutrition and weight loss more than anything, because it's not just about the hour you spend in the gym, it's about the other 23 hours you spend outside the gym, and there's so many other factors to consider than just the X's and O's of working out. Your sleep habits, your nutrition habits, your lifestyle habits, your activity level. Everyone's circumstance is so different day to day. So this is where the book's going to really help. So if you really take the time to go through the book and answer those questions honestly and deeply, and you really unpack your feelings, I promise you're going to get some great results. So give it a try. Let me know. Use the hashtag Long Island Lean if you guys are on your weight loss journey. Share if you get a copy of the book. Share it on social. Tag me, and I'd love to hear what you think and how it's helping you. I really want to make this a movement. I really want to help more people. So thank you guys for listening. Check out the links in the description. Check out the book. It's on Amazon. Thank you guys so much for listening. Until next time, stay strong, and we'll see you soon.